Hello and welcome to Fraggle Top Classic, the unofficial Fraggle Rock podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. My name is Beth and I am rewatching for the millionth time.
My name is Julia and I'm rewatching for the first time in 10 years.
My name is Adam and I had my little cousin write the notes for the intro here, so I'm rewatching for the first time Ivar.
Wow. How old's your cousin?
He doesn't really exist. I made him up for the bit.
I was like, what a nice little
He's
twist.
as old as I want him
course,
to be.
That tracks, I think, for previous episodes.
Currently, about 12 seconds.
There you go.
Because that's how long the bit is going on.
Just keep creating fictional characters to introduce on this podcast.
No one can stop me.
And today we are talking about episode 15 of season 1 called I Don't Care.
Which, wow. There's a lot going on in this episode, and also just a lot going on visually.
Yeah. So, okay, the original air date was April 18th, 1983. This episode was written by Carol Bolt and directed by Stephen Katz. Those were both names that were new to me, so I'm happy to learn some more about who helped bring the show to life.
Awesome.
But boy, howdy, you're not kidding. There's a lot to this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Can we also so we start off with Doc excitedly saying that he has made a contraption so that Sprocket will not have to fetch the paper at 4 p.m., which we could have a whole discussion about how sweet it is that Sprocket genuinely likes going and getting the paper at 4 p.m. and is clearly disappointed. But also, the thing that Doc's made is an abomination in the eyes of God.
Yeah. Oh boy, he calls it the Rocket Sprocket. Doc has made an electronic dog.
Well, doesn't he say it's a steam-driven dog?
Yeah, he says powered by clockwork and electricity and steam. I'm like, dude,
yeah.
That's 2 out of 3 tops.
That's a lot of things.
You don't need all 3 of those.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to cover all of the bases as a tinkerer, I suppose. It's also really weird that he gets his newspaper at 4 p.m. Like, I thought at first, I was like, did I miss something? Is it 4 a.m.? But it's not. That's a late time to get a newspaper, which I was like, is he just on a weird time receiving schedule for his paper? Or does he just let it sit out there and Sprocket just goes and gets it at 4? Those are just small things that popped out to me. But yeah, that seemed a little strange.
All fair questions. I had not spotted that detail.
It's a bummer, because Sprocket genuinely enjoys going to get the paper, and you can tell that just from his body language, that he's super excited when he hears the clock and he's gonna go, and then Doc springs this on him, and Sprocket's not having it.
Mm-hmm.
Which, again, there's a lot to be said about, like, oh, Doc, you're really not picking up on your little furry friend's cues. But there's also a lot to be said about, Doc, what have you done? What have you created? What dark, nightmarish corner of your brain did you find this schematic in, and what godforsaken impulse led you to bring it into existence?
It's funny, because honestly, like, the impulse of, oh, I'm gonna build this thing to make my friend's life a little easier, coming from Doc, this one feels, while he should pick up on Sprocket's cues better, definitely, it does feel nicer than previous episodes when instead of like, oh, I'm not going to feed you till you do this thing for me, or other Doc moments we've seen. This one feels like he's trying to do something nice for Sprocket, but he just doesn't take a second to be like, oh, is this something you'd want, Sprocket? Do you like getting the paper? So that's I guess a point in the positive for Doc, but I do agree that his contraption looks wild and a little terrifying, and works so fast.
Yeah, it fetches the paper in 3 seconds.
I guess props to Doc, because he did create what seems to be an operating robot, which is a pretty competent thing to do for him.
On a very technical level, I'm so curious as to how it turns around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it has a lot of...
I don't see hinges on them wheels.
Of course, we also find out later that it can fill in a crossword puzzle, so...
Ah, I forgot about that. That's terrifying.
Yeah, it is. And the question is the robot dog sentient and filled it in correctly? Or is it just robotic enough to know that you're supposed to fill in a crossword puzzle with letters and it just does it randomly?
With ink.
Yeah.
That's fair. I just know that at one point it opened its mouth and I had a full flashback to the episode of Neon Genesis Evangelion where Eva Unit 1 opens its mouth for the first time. And that, like, just shuddering horror of like, oh, that's not supposed to be there, and it's very organic and visceral, and those are teeth swept through my spine.
It's like when you see a photo of the inside of a goose's mouth.
Oh.
Or the inside of a turtle's mouth.
Oh, I don't even know what the inside of a turtle's mouth looks like, but geese.
Imagine a Sarlacc pit, but longer.
Oh, no. Weird. Both weird.
Anyways,
Anyway.
Enough about God's biggest mistake. Let's talk about Wembley and Boober.
Oh, our good boys.
Good boys. Boober's got a lucky bottle cap that the trash heap gave him, and it keeps him safe, and he has so much faith that he can do anything dangerous, and Wembley dares him to go to outer space. And then tries to stop him.
Immediately.
Which is, I feel like, actually very thematically appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that you're, like, messing around with your friends, and then as soon as the stakes become real, stuff changes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And for Boober, too. Like, he was like, oh, yeah, I can do this totally arbitrary thing. I can do this other thing. But as soon as you dare me to do something that's right here in front of me, ooh, I'm going to need to psych myself up a little bit for that.
Mm-hmm.
Which he does by saying the magic words on the bottle cap. No deposit, no return.
Yeah.
As if he's, like, saluting a flag, and it's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. The reverence. Like, I don't know how you deliver that line with a straight face, but it was a beautiful delivery.
2 episodes ago, we saw Marjory give a love potion to Wembley, and I remember I asked you, Beth, like, are we going to see Marjory give out... I think I asked specifically about magic items, which I suppose this is a quote-unquote magic item because it is supposed to be a lucky bottle cap.
Right.
And we've also talked before in previous episodes about the number of lucky items we see Boober have, and, you know, we see him with 2 different lucky items in this episode.
Yep.
Also, the trash heap has, like, specifically told him, like, oh, you can't do that without a hat, but if you put a hat on, you can totally do that. So I feel like the trash heap just, like, has, like, one of her main markets is just Dumbo magic feathers.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. This is definitely another magic feather.
Mm-hmm.
Handing these magic feathers out like candy.
Solves, you know, she just tells them, yeah, this is definitely a lucky item, and then it usually solves their problems. Maybe not so much in this episode. It actually causes a number of issues.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think the blanket causes the issues. I think his friends being kind of cruddy caused the issues.
Yeah, I just meant the issues kind of surrounding the inciting incident of him getting a blanket.
Yeah, okay. That I can get behind.
So yeah, Wembley specifically is trying to stop Boober, not just because outer space is scary in general, but because he says there are monsters out there. Like, yeah, right now, that rocket sprocket is very much a monster.
True facts.
Yeah, that is for once, like, no words. Many words, actually, just not right now.
There were a couple cuts back and forth between Doc and the Fraggles that I really liked, where...
Yeah.
See, Doc says, 3 seconds, Sprocket, that's a new record, and it cuts back, and Wembley's saying, I think you'll last about 3 seconds out there, Boober. Mm-hmm. And it happens again where Wembley's listing all the awful things that are going to happen to Boober, and he mentions being mangled and chewed up, and it cuts back to Doc, and he's like, oh, the newspaper's all mangled and chewed up, Sprocket, from the robot.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just some clever, like, intercutting between the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cute. It's clever. So, Boober and Wembley wrestle. Lucky Bottle Cap falls down to the bottom of the bottomless chasm.
Which, who put a bottomless chasm there? It's just right there on the way to outer space. Where are the guardrails? There are just bottomless chasms all over Fraggle Rock?
I don't think Fraggle Rock has an OSHA.
There's no, like, little doozer going around being like, we gotta take care of this.
I would love that. That'd make me so happy.
OSHA doozer.
OSHA doozer.
If the doozers did build guardrails, the Fraggles would just eat them.
That's true.
Look, we don't know that they can't build stuff out of... They built a catapult that wasn't edible.
There you go.
Good.
So we need catapult railings.
Just repurpose that material.
Yep.
Anyways, so Boober's mad. His lucky bottle cap is gone. And I believe he starts singing as he's walking.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And this blues song is real good.
It's real good.
The guitar work is really nice, and also just, like, what a lovely depiction of the local fauna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole time, you get so many different background creatures singing along with him.
It's a lot of creatures we also haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, I'm familiar with the little fluffy, grungy ones. There's, like, these weird, kind of chonky-looking gargoyles.
Yeah.
With these tiny little wings who are also backup singers. I love them so much, and in my heart of hearts, I know they eat the fluffy things, and they just sort of sit there camouflaged as rocks until the fluffy things come closer and then chomp them up.
So yeah, we've got, let's see. One kind of fluffy thing that's like if Fizzgig from the Dark Crystal was like styled to have like tufts of hair with a little ball at the end of each tuft.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get these little fuzzy guys popping out of tubes looking like, deep sea coral dwelling creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get my favorite, the fuzzy green aardvarks with rodent teeth and bat wings and sloth feet that apparently can sing along, so they're at least semi-sentient. They're just chilling.
And then also at one point he walks up and then a rock in the foreground just pops up with eyes and starts singing, and he closes it like a unruly clam.
Yes, we will definitely see more of those rock clams as background singers.
Excellent. They brought me a great deal of joy.
Yeah, and same with these red tufted birds. They are definitely common background singers.
Yes. There's also, I just want to cite one of my favorite lines from this song. People say they're happy, but people are wrong.
I knew you were going to mark that. What a great line.
It's so good.
Let's say more. Why is it such a great line?
Oh God. Okay, hold on. Let me pivot into songwriter brain. So this song about like him just sort of complaining about existence. It's literally just kind of grumpy blues expression. And then you have this one line where it's very clear that it's not just like, I'm angry now. He's like, no, this is the world.
Mm.
This is it. And not only is it, this is how everything is. People think that they're not like this and they're wrong. Like, it's such a wide sweeping way to just capture how Boober sees the world in like 8 words.
I mean, my takeaway from this song was, oh, this is how I feel when my depression is flaring up. So
absolutely.
Oh, see, I don't get the whole everyone is miserable. I don't get people say they're happy, but they're wrong. I get, everyone else is happy, but I don't have enough morality or goodness of heart to be joyful.
I can get a bit of both depending on the day and the mood. Just kind of an overall negative outlook on the entire world.
Oh, yeah. And then you eat some protein and suddenly the world gets brighter. Weird, huh? Hey, listeners, eat protein. You'll feel better. Drink some water also.
And also, if you can't make your own neurotransmitters, store-bought is fine.
Store-bought is fine.
Take your meds.
Take your meds. Drink some water, take your meds, eat protein. Anyways, this has been all of our mental health corner.
Yay.
They make it to the trash heap. Does somebody want to talk about the opening to the trash heap? I've been talking too much already.
Well, Philo and Gunge are showing off like the latest trash that has shown up for Marjory, including I think they said a well-worn banana peel, and a lampshade and a blanket, which still begs the question of whose trash is ending up. Is it the Gorgs? Is it somehow coming from the outside outer space human world? Whose lampshade is this? It's a small lampshade. Marjory wears it like a hat, and it's delightful, but I don't know if it would be like a Gorg's lampshade. A lot of questions about Marjory and her existence and where all of her compost comes from.
Oh, yeah.
I just love how supportive she puts it on and she's like, is it me, boys? And they're like, oh, it's you. And I'm like, yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, she looks great in a lampshade.
Yeah.
It is a very extra lampshade that looks like it could easily be a hat anyway.
Yeah.
It fits her head really nicely. But yeah, they get a blanket in the pile of like new trash, and Marjory says that it's too new to be trash. It's not, I guess it's not up to standards of her trash pile, and she doesn't want it.
And they're like, well, who are we going to give it to? And then...
Cue Boober.
Which makes me wonder, like, if she just... These items that she doesn't want, when a Fraggle shows up, she's like, oh yeah, this is a lucky magic item. Here you go. Take it. It'll make all your problems go away, as a way to repurpose parts of her trash that she doesn't want.
Man, I wish I could do that with student loans.
Oh.
She'd be like, hey, buddy, you want this lucky debt? It's super lucky.
That would be nice. Oh, now I'm sad.
I added that to our Fraggle Talk bingo is hashtag bitter millennials complaining about capitalism.
Oh, that's like every other episode for us.
Yeah. So she decides to give him this blanket, and she's like, oh my God, it's so lucky. And she says 3 specific things. They're like, the person who did this, he inherited an ice cream factory. And then the second one, and then she's like, he met the president. And Boober goes, president of what?
Yep.
And none of them know how to respond. And it was kind of cool because it really does feel like she knows about like human politics. And she's just like, how do I explain that's significant? I can't. Continue on with the sales spiel.
The other thing that happened to the last person to own this blanket was he found a pony.
There it is. Ice cream factory, pony, and meeting the president.
I'd like to do 2 out of 3 of those things.
I mean, yeah, same. I don't really want a pony.
I want a pony. Owning an ice cream factory seems like too much responsibility.
Fair.
But then you could make an ice cream factory workers union and bequeath it to them so that they could own the means of ice cream production.
The first cooperative ice cream factory.
That has to exist, right? There has to be one of those already.
You would think.
Not at this late in the afternoon, I wouldn't think. It hurts too much.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No thoughts, only vibes. So he takes this blanket. He's super excited. And he immediately goes to the play that they're setting up.
Well, and on the way to the play, he sings the song again. Is the song verbatim from what he sang earlier? He's just singing it with a much happier tone?
Yeah, it's like the same depressing lyrics, but with a much upbeat, happy vibe to it. Yeah.
Depression, but faster.
I mean, to be fair, this blanket is adorable, and I would love to make a recreation of it someday.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very cute blanket, yeah.
It's like the appropriately Fraggle-sized blanket, so I wonder if maybe if it had belonged...
With radishes on it.
Yes, so I wonder if it is... If Marjory is a compilation of, like, the gorge garbage, maybe it's actually, like, a handkerchief originally, but it just...
Oh, there you go.
Fits size-wise with the Fraggles as a blanket. But yes, he then goes to Moki's play that she's putting on.
And she is wearing this slouchy green hat and living her best middle school theater teacher life.
Yeah, she's really in her element, just telling folks what to do.
Hey, look, based on how she acts, I just want to say, like, 30% of the middle school teachers that I've met deserve some defensive reaction from me about this.
I say that with all the love in the world. I loved my middle school theater teacher.
Yeah, but Moki's so bad in this.
Yeah.
Loki's so... Also, can we just say, Red has a great line where she's like, who needs a prince? I can rescue me. And like, yeah, Red walked so Jonathan Colton could run. Heck yeah. Jonathan Colton did the song about the princess who rescued herself.
Oh, that's right.
There's a whole picture book about it, too.
Oh. I didn't know it was a picture book. That's awesome.
Yeah, he did it. There's a book about it. It's nice.
Good.
I've read it to children. Anyways.
But yeah, in classic fashion, Moki is, telling people what to do without actually considering what they want. Red is being overly enthusiastic, and Wembley is trying to help. And I love that comes up twice in the episode, that Red and Wembley end up damaging something important to Boober because Red is being overly enthusiastic and not really caring about the thing that's important to Boober. Mm-hmm. And Wembley is trying to help and accidentally making it worse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've had relationships like that. I wrote a no punctuation rant after Moki's like, oh yeah, perfect, I'll use this blanket for the thing. And Boober specifically says, no, don't do that. And Moki just kind of walks off with it.
Mm-hmm.
Moki, I swear to God, if you don't stop imposing your narrative onto everyone else's without a whit or dibble of attention to what they are actually saying with their real actual mouths, I am going to start imposing the narrative that you are in fact a remarkably articulate llama and refuse to consider any other possibility.
Hey! Why not?
That's good.
Look, I have a lot of empathy for misunderstandings. I have a lot of empathy. I am autistic. I misread social cues on a semi-frequent basis at this point. Like, it happens. I get it. If you say, oh, we're going to do this, and someone says no, stop.
Well, it's just especially frustrating because, what, was it 2 episodes ago? We watched We Love You, Wembley, where she imposed, oh, Wembley, you must have this crush, even though, at least at the start, Wembley's like, I don't, and she refused to listen to him. So we've seen this from Moki a number of times, and obviously this is, we have 4 seasons left. We're hopefully going to see growth in this department from Moki.
Yeah.
But still, like, the only thing I wrote for this was, Moki, why don't you listen to anyone besides yourself? So, it's frustrating, although I suppose it's, it's supposed to be frustrating. But, yeah, just watching her be told, no, this isn't the thing that I want, and still she proceeds as if she can't hear them.
Yeah, that is absolutely frustrating. I also want to point out just a cool detail. Wembley's like, I just finished painting the trellis, and then Red falls on the trellis and gets paint on the blanket that she's wearing. When they cut back to the trellis, there's less paint on it.
Oh,
I had not noticed that.
because the paint came off on the blanket, you can see there's like a very clear line where like, oh, this is where someone fell and the paint came off of this trellis. It's such a tiny little detail, but it's so perfect. No seams in the world building.
Grounded in reality. That's great. I love that.
It makes me wonder if that's actually how they did it. Like if they painted the trellis with wet paint and then plopped it onto the blanket, and that's how they just did it.
Maybe.
Rather than going through the rigmarole of having a fully painted trellis and then a partially painted trellis and then like a separate blanket that's unmarked and then a new blanket that is marked.
It's very possible.
It's entirely possible.
I wouldn't put it past them.
So we cut back to Doc and Sprocket, and the robot is bringing in the paper, but its razor sharp teeth are just serrating this paper like a child attempting to make a snowflake out of construction paper. And Doc has this one line where he says, "Look at that, Sprocket. Isn't that cute?" And I guess it is cute in the same way that a shark that had been endowed enough sentience to understand the concept of cruelty and now hunted predominantly for sport would be cute. But beyond that, I don't see how that word applies.
I mean, if Doc isn't seeing this robot dog as terrifying, but seeing the robot dog as cute, then I guess he could see the things that it does as cute.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, you let us know, listeners. Is the robot dog only terrifying, or is there a little bit of cuteness to it? What do you think?
If you can make a fan art of this robot dog that makes me change my stance, I will name drop you and express my gratitude and like full on eat my words. Anyways, so Boober's pulling away. Boober like throws on full on is like, no, he makes a little curtain and he's just like, no, leave me alone. And they don't leave him alone.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's pissed.
Yeah.
Rightfully.
Yeah, I thought that we were going to get another episode about, like, hey, take your friends' concerns seriously, even when you don't think that it's a thing that they should be concerned about. But we got a different lesson in this one.
We do, which I appreciate. I like the setup twist.
Yeah.
But at one point he literally just yells, "You are being disrespectful to my blanket." And it's like, yes, speak your piece, Boober. Red, can you take your friend's distress seriously? She like goes in to joke with him and he shoves a pillow in her mouth and I'm like, yes, good. Yes. Good.
It is a great visual.
He's also just ranting about like all the things that all the other Fraggles care more about, in which he mentions Gobo's postcards, and on cue Gobo's like, "Oh, hey, I've got a postcard, let me share it."
Yep.
You know, it's like, Gobo, read the room. Maybe this isn't the time to share what your uncle's been up to.
Gobo, just take Gobo, come on.
He specifically does it with the preface, "Let's all be friends." And I'll read you my postcard from Uncle Traveling Matt. Like, dude, if anything unites this group, it is not that.
It's how much it does unite them in the sense of how much they all, except for maybe Wembley, most of them do not care about these postcards.
Yeah.
That's like a white dude in the middle of a house meeting that turned into a house argument, just pulling out his guitar and being like, "Hey guys,
wasn't it a couple episodes, like an episode or two back, where I was like, Gobo has major guy with a guitar energy."
Yep.
He really does, and that hasn't stopped.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna stop anytime soon.
I mean, Gobo literally is a guy with a guitar, so...
He is. Well, and I said it in the episode where he was strumming on a guitar and not taking Red. I think it was the challenge, like Red, He wasn't taking her seriously, but yeah, I think it's an air that follows him a little bit too.
Yeah. So they decide they're going to go to the Hall of Justice.
Real quick, we should touch on the postcard itself.
Oh, yeah, we should.
So in the postcard, Matt is watching a boomerang being thrown by a silly creature who's having a hard time getting rid of this magic stick. And Matt, of course, says, "I am an expert in such matters and can get rid of any stick, even a magic one." Like, how do you become an expert in getting rid of magic sticks?
I mean, I assume there's some kind of accreditation program.
I also just think Matt thinks he's an expert at everything, even if it's something he's never done before. That's also his character of just maybe a little too much confidence.
Yeah.
Yep.
And naturally, he throws the boomerang, and it thwacks him in the head, which, you know,
Clunk.
I could see was coming from a mile away the second we saw the silly creature with the boomerang.
Oh, yeah.
I also think it's really funny that he's like, oh, he was having a hard time getting rid of it. And then the dude just like drops it on the ground and walks away.
He doesn't even drop it. He like chucks it to the side as he's walking away, as if like, I'm done. I'd never need this boomerang ever again.
Do we have any Australian listeners? Are boomerangs just growing on trees that they're so easy to chuck away?
The only thing I know about boomerangs is that the actual boomerangs that were used for hunting don't come back.
Oh.
Those are specifically designed to be like thrown as a thrown weapon, and they're designed to be aerodynamic and hit and impact as much damage as you can.
I don't think I knew boomerangs. Did they start as weapons?
I had no idea.
Well, I don't know the origins. I just know that they are weapons, and then they made toys of the weapons to like practice the throwing thing.
And now the toys are what people think of when they think of boomerangs.
At least in my understanding.
Fascinating.
In hindsight, there's a solid chance that I picked up this piece of trivia from an Animorphs book. So
specifically Animorphs.
Listeners, take that with a grain of... Yes, well, there's the one where Cassie goes to Australia and acquires a kangaroo. She gets, like, stuck on a plane. It's a whole thing.
I never read Animorphs.
You should really read Animorphs. It's bananas.
It's my biggest blind spot as a kid. For whatever reason, I saw those book covers and I was like, not for me. I'm going to go read The Magic Treehouse instead.
Fascinating.
Oh, my God. So, look, I liked The Magic Treehouse. Animorphs, like, if you want to read a genuine book about children, like, fighting in the horrors of war and understanding that, like, oh, there's no good guys and no one ever really like, I don't know how they got those books published, but they did, and they're amazing.
Disguised as fun shape-shifting animal adventures. That's how they did it.
Yep, fair. That's how they did
I
it.
think at this point I'm waiting for them to make a really cool, well done, hopefully, adaptation of it, and that's probably how I'll take it.
Don't watch the current TV show. It's not.
Oh, is there an Animorphs TV show?
It was like, it's a couple decades old at this point, and
I was
it's
going to
mid.
say current?
Sure.
Because in middle school, I won a contest, got a third place prize of a VHS of the show. That's how old that show is.
So, listeners, a VHS is what they used to put shows on that used to be streaming. Like, instead of just sort of turning on your TV and the shows being there, you had to go get this weird plastic brick from a store from a college student who didn't like you but also wanted you to like the things they liked. And they would give you this little plastic brick, and you would put it into a larger sort of metallic brick, and that's how you would watch shows.
That is accurate.
That's a VHS.
Where were we?
I think we're at the Hall of Justice.
Yes.
Right, Hall of Justice. Thank you.
So, I'll be real, I was kind of let down. Like, I get that that's the point, but I really wanted to see another, like, oh, this is like a Fraggle tradition. This is like the society. This is what's going on. And it's literally just Gobo trying to be serious and Red testing out her tight five.
Yeah, she's cracking so many jokes while Boober's taking it so seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we start out with Gobo leading everybody in The Oath, which is a song.
A song. Yeah, it's a good one.
And most of it makes a lot of sense. Like, I swear to be fair. And, like, it's talking about, you know, like, hey, we're going to go do this justice thing. Let's everybody put ourselves in a justice mindset. But there's a couple of issues that I found with the lyrics. So, first of all, like, I swear to never do bad things or act selfishly. Like, in theory, cool, great idea. The problem is that everyone has a different idea of what that means.
Oh, no, just I'm right and everyone else's ideas about it are wrong.
Right, exactly. And on that note, the line, and treat everybody as if they were me. Like, there was, you know, some discourse going around several years ago about the golden rule versus the platinum rule. Like, treat everybody how you want to be treated versus treat everybody how they want to be treated.
Yep.
And that's the problem in this courtroom, is that everyone is doing what they want to do. Red is treating the Hall of Justice like a comedy club because that's what she wants to get out of it. And Gobo and Boober are trying to take it seriously because Boober is trying to get justice and Gobo is trying to make the problem go away in his friend group.
Yeah.
Wembley's just trying to get some juice.
Yeah.
Wembley just wants some juice, and to be fair, so does Red, eventually, but they never get the juice.
No, they do get the juice, because they knock the juice over.
Well, they don't get the juice, the blanket gets the juice.
Oh, I see. That's true. The blanket drinks up all the juice,
which
and makes the problem even worse.
It's allegedly blueberry juice, but it's like blue blue. That is not the color of blueberries that us silly creatures have access to.
It was like a blue purple, wasn't it?
It's a much bluer blue than
like a blurple?
If we get blueberry juice, it's distinctly purple with like reddish undertones.
Fair.
Yeah, isn't it? It's pretty like a deep blue, but maybe that's blueberries for Fraggles. Maybe their berries are a little different.
I was gonna say maybe they have a different strain.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone else notice? So all of the background Fraggles are there to be Red's audience essentially, and they're sitting on these piles of books, but they're huge books.
Oh yeah, they're very big.
Like books as big as floor cushions, and I was like, well, now I want to own floor cushions shaped like giant books.
Oh, I just assumed that those were books that they'd gotten from the human world.
Oh, there you go.
Which explains the size differential.
Mm-hmm. Or the Gorgs.
Would the Gorgs have books?
That's a really good question.
Well, hold on. Fraggles are supposed to be knee-high to a human, and humans are supposed to be knee-high to a Gorg, right?
Yep.
Cool. A Gorg book would kill a man. You could get like a bed shaped like a Gorg book.
Depending on the size of the book relative to the Gorg, it could either be like a small to them book, which is, I would say, about this size, or if they had like a dictionary, that would do some serious damage.
Mm-hmm.
I like that we see again the solemn mark of the Fraggle is carved into the wall.
Oh, I missed that.
Mm-hmm.
I missed that too.
So nobody takes this seriously except for Gobo and Boober. And Boober's trying to write a speech, and the blueberry juice gets spilled on his blanket like you knew it was going to be as soon as they introduced blueberry juice.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wembley tries to clean it off with Boober's speech, and Boober just bails. Boober's just done. He just leaves. And honestly, good for you, dude. Your friends are treating you very poorly. Go.
Yep.
Yeah, he's planning to leave and never see his friends again. He's super serious about it in the moment.
Yeah. And Wembley goes after him.
Yeah.
Which is sweet.
Red and Moki, meanwhile, go to the trash heap for help. They take the damaged blanket with them.
Mm-hmm.
But Marjory and Philo and Gunge are too busy doing the crossword puzzle, and they barely notice that... Actually, I don't know if they notice at all that Moki and Red are there.
They acknowledge kind of in the end, just in that she gives them instructions on how to clean a blanket.
Right.
Although she doesn't, I don't know if she really looks up the crossword, but she does make that connection with them.
Yeah.
But she does, they're going on about her uncle.
Yeah.
His name.
Maximilian,
and how there's a silent Q in it because it's one of the answers in the crossword, and they're bickering about whether or not it fits there.
Yeah, they don't give them a lot of attention.
She does give them the magic words, "The Q is silent."
Mm-hmm. Where they think that's, the words to use. But then, I guess she just overhears them say that they need to clean the blanket, and she gives them very thorough instructions on how to get a stain out of a blanket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, not thorough enough because they use hot water, but...
Yep.
True. But as they point out later, Boober is the only one in their community who does all of the laundry, and so he's the only one who has all of this knowledge stored up.
Yep.
Which, we'll get to that, but there's a sweet moment with that. So Boober's trying to leave, and Wembley's trying to get him back, and Boober's pissed. And he's just wrecking Doozer Towers left and right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And Wembley tries to stop him, and he shoves Wembley away into a Doozer Tower. And there's a very genuine moment of tone shift where you're like, wow, he's angry. Oh, is Wembley okay?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. And Boober shifts that quickly as well.
Mm-hmm.
He goes from saying, I don't care, hey, episode title, over and over to immediately, oh my gosh, Wembley's injured. It's not true, I do care. What have I done?
Yeah, exactly. And he runs back carrying Wembley, and I know it's supposed to be a really genuine moment, but he turns around and we see Wembley's eyes are crossed and his tongue is stuck out, and I laughed so hard.
I know!
Yep.
It's so cute!
I wrote, Wembley looks dead. I know, and you know that he's not.
Right.
It is very silly and feels a little over the top in that instance, but, they gotta get the point across.
Yeah. So Red and Moki and Gobo are now, they're trying to get the stain out of the blanket, but they washed it with hot water, and it is now the size of a little handkerchief.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little rag. And so he sets Wembley down, and it's like, and Gobo's like, I'll go get a moss pack, which we saw these when we watched the We Love You Wembley episode.
Continuity! Judy.
We did, yeah.
And there's this really beautiful moment where Red is like, oh my god, this is all my fault. And Boober's like, no, this is my fault. And then Wembley wakes up and he's like, no, it's my fault.
Well, so there's this great back and forth before Wembley wakes up fully, where he's just kind of murmuring, like half-consciously.
Half-consciously just repeating what people are saying because even in his sleep he wembles.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, there's that really sweet moment. Like, they're so good at that little pivot, that, like, just really slick tone shift switch. Because in the middle of the argument, she's like, well, I'm so sorry about the blanket. And he goes, I don't care about the blanket. I care about Wembley.
Yeah.
And it, like, they could have overhyped that and made it saccharine and cloying.
Mm-hmm.
They could have had to be like, I don't care about the blanket. Ooh, ooh, I care about Wembley. Where? And they didn't. And they just let us have it in real time. Not a lot of score active. They just let us see the moment.
Yeah.
And that's a really respectful way to handle that.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot.
I will say there was one moment that made me kind of giggle where Wembley says, I'm fine, Boober, thanks to the wet blanket. Because Boober is the wet blanket. But yeah, then Boober gets to, show his friends how to do laundry right, and he's so excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have in my notes, yes, please, engage in repair by letting your friend info dump about their special interest.
Yes. Exactly. And also, like, that's legit knowledge that I would like to have. I would love to take a laundry class from Boober.
I would 100% take a laundry class from Boober.
It would probably be good based off of this episode for them to have at least one other Fraggle who knows how to competently do laundry besides Boober. Because, yeah, if he did, like, leave and never come back, what would they do? They'd all have dirty laundry. Stink, yeah.
Maybe the main characters would have to give up wearing clothes altogether and be like the naked background Fraggles.
That's fair, yeah.
Naked Background Fraggles is the name of my specifically, like, hard rock Muppet queer cover band.
Can I join? Do you need... I don't play an instrument, but...
Well, I mean, if it ever exists, I'll make sure to call you.
Excellent.
Do we want to talk about this last little bit with Doc? Because, oh my god.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Well, so, yeah, Doc fixes the robot so it doesn't mangle his newspaper. It goes and gets the newspaper for him, and he's super stoked because it's in one piece, until he realizes that the robot somehow, in those, 3 seconds it went to get the paper, did the crossword puzzle in ink. Mm-hmm. And for Doc, that's the straw that breaks the camel's back. And instead of, I don't know, putting it in a closet or being like, oh, I'll take the parts, apart later and repurpose them, he sends it out into the world and throws the remote and closes the door, as if just being like, the world can take care of this problem now, this terrifying robot. I'm just not gonna think about it anymore.
He pulls a full Frankenstein.
Yeah. So some neighbor is just gonna stumble across this robot dog and the remote and just have now a sentient robot dog that can solve a crossword puzzle.
Or the robot's gonna take its own remote and take over the world?
Yeah, no, he's just unleashed this horror on an unsuspecting public.
Now, there's a fanfiction I need to see. Rocket Sprocket goes off on his own adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Rocket Sprocket goes on off his own adventures, goes on so much of a spree that he has to be stopped by Rick and Morty.
Doc's neighbors must be used to this at this point, though, right?
Can anyone be used to that?
Not this robot in specific. I'm sure there are still moments where they're shocked and horrified by the things they find, but Doc must just, get frustrated with inventions all the time and just chuck them out onto the street, and then they're just out for a walk and they're like, oh, there's another one of Doc's inventions. Let's avoid it at all costs.
Oh, there's a chandelier with a burglar alarm. Oh, there's a bunch of nails that looks like they're covered in wood. Oh, there's the most horrifying mechanical creation known to man that is staring at me as though I am nutrition it will gladly crunch between its teeth and that my pain will enrich the joy of its meal. One of these things is not like the others, Julia.
Just the act of him doing this, not necessarily the robot itself.
Fair. Okay.
So far we know we've heard from Doc's neighbors vicariously through him about the playing music for the plants in the garden, and they, made a petition against it because that was so intrusive. And Ned Schimmelfinney was complaining about the bathtub full of violas or something like that. It's like sitting out on the front lawn. And so I think his neighbors are pretty used to Doc shenanigans in general, up until the point where it starts affecting them.
And this dog is definitely going to affect them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if not, like, violently, then at the very least, just, like, visually, like, their nightmares are going to happen more often on this street.
He's going to get another petition that the whole neighborhood signed. I'm sure he's had a number of petitions signed against him.
I would not be surprised.
Just has a collection of them.
At all.
You want to hear about the international versions?
Yes, please,
Yes.
Good God.
Yes.
All right, in the French version, the latest treasure from Uncle Georges is a device which is supposed to detect deliveries and release an alarm when it does so. Okay. Doc wants to use it to get the mail, which makes Croquette jealous. The machine only succeeds in attracting such items as balls, shoes, and a broom, and Croquette has to bark when the postman does arrive. Meanwhile, Uncle Traveling Matt observes a group of men patiently fishing for shoes. And in the UK version, the captain is complaining to Commander Ponsonby on the phone that he does not like the new electronic device the commander has placed in the lighthouse. But when he and Sprocket realize the machine will take over a lot of their tasks so they can sleep late, he decides to plug it in after all. Later, the machine prints out all sorts of information on paper, but the captain doesn't understand any of it. In the end, Sprocket is buried under a pile of printed paper. He and the captain agree that machines are more trouble than they're worth. What?
So none of these versions have this terrifying robot monstrosity?
Apparently not. They have different electronic annoyances, but we'd have to see them in person to know if they were monstrous.
Welp, that tracks. Anything people want to say about this particular episode?
Yeah, just like we were saying earlier, I like that we've now gotten two different versions of, hey, Boober cares about something that everyone else thinks is trivial and it gets damaged. And in the previous one, the lesson was like, hey, take your friend's concern seriously. And in this one, the lesson is, hey, sometimes the things that you yourself are caring about are not that important.
Yeah, not as important as making sure people are safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he gets the blanket, and, 10 minutes later is when it gets wrecked, and he acts like it's the worst thing that anyone's ever done to him.
Yeah.
But he's had it for, a handful of minutes, and he put so much worth into this material item that he stops caring about the people around him. So it is, I do appreciate this show just taking a concept that we've seen before and then just, not even flipping it on its head necessarily, but just changing it a little bit and giving us a different perspective. So, yeah, props to the people making this show.
It's also a really nice way to explore that, like, yeah, you can have genuine arguments with your friends and be frustrated and not like that person and still care about them.
Yep.
Also, everyone can be a little bit wrong in a situation,
Yeah.
Even though Boober did put too much stock into this, Red is still, like, cracking jokes in a time where Boober is like, hey, this is a thing that means a lot to me. Moki takes the blanket when she's not listening to Boober. And all of, like, these little things that just add up. And, everyone can, like, contribute somewhat equally to an issue. And,
It's very organically messy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which relationships are.
That they are. Do we want to talk about how we can make the world a little fragglier?
If you have a dog that actually knows how to get the newspaper and enjoys getting the newspaper for you, don't make a monster creation.
It's a nice first step to try and treat everybody as if they were me. But it's a much bigger and harder and more important step to treat everybody the way they want to be treated.
If someone has something that has emotional significance to them and it's made of cloth, be extra careful if you have juice or paint around it. I feel like this is common sense, but yeah, come on. Also, if you don't want your monster anymore, just let it out into the world. That's fine. That'll be fine.
Nothing's gonna go wrong
Nothing
there.
bad will happen.
Oh, that's making the world a little docklier.
Ugh.
I don't know if we want that.
Ooh.
That was a bad ear feel.
It felt bad to say. Ugh. All right, listeners, remember to check out toughpigs.com. Give us a good review on your podcaster of choice. And if you want to find us on social media, I am at Beth Anna Cook.
You can find me at geekgirlgrownup or juliagaskill.com. Or if you live in Portland, I host a lot of poetry events.
Hey!
Come out to one of them.
Yes.
I don't really want to be perceived right now. Don't perceive me. Go look at something nice.
You're something nice.
I know, but look at something nice that's not me. Ugh, fine.
Okay.
Pick up on my subconscious self-deprecations and correct me like the loving, supportive friend you are. God.
That's right. Get affirmed.
Don't forget to dance your cares away.
Dan Fraggle talk? I guess?
Excellent. Fraggle Talk Classic is brought to you by toughpigs.com. Fraggle Talk art by Dave Hulteen Jr. The Fraggle Rock mark and logo, characters, and elements are trademarks of the Jim Henson Company. All rights reserved. The Fraggle Rock theme song, written by Philip Balsam and Dennis Lee, is used with permission. Special thanks to the Jim Henson Company and the entire Fraggle Rock family. For more from Tough Pigs, please find us at Tough Pigs on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, TeePublic, and Patreon. Fraggle Talk Classic is produced and edited by me, Beth Cook. Thank you to Joe Hennis, the Tough Pigs Muppet Fan Podcast executive producer. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time, down at Fraggle Talk. Or if they had like a big old dictionary, that would do some serious damage.
Just a big old dictionary.
Great, now I have to cut that because you giggled at it.
No, you don't. Just cut me reiterating it and leave the giggle.